Hey guys, Preston here. It's pretty late, but I can't sleep tonight, so I'm figuring it's time we get around to my 1 year review of my Benchmade Bushcrafter here. I'm not going to be rolling in footage of usage and trying to show certain things super well, but I just want to talk about it and my experience with it, because I've had it for a while, and you know, it's about time we get around to this 1 year review thing, because I'm about a month behind on that. So let's just jump into it. I want to start off with the bad stuff because I don't like to end videos on a bad note. Okay, so yeah, all right. So first off, the sheath. What it's got in there is a plastic dealio. And that, I'll show you with the flashlight, just rests down there to keep the shape because the leather's kind of thin. And you can see what I mean relative to the leather on, say, this Bark River sheath. But yeah, I don't know if I like the plastic being in there. I don't think it should be in there, but it needs to be for this sheath, the way they put it together. The strap right here is obviously too loose and it can expose the edge, which is dangerous. I mean, it still stays in there, but just a little slip up and comes right out. You don't even have to unbutton it. So that's not good. I actually dropped it once like that and it fell, nearly went through my foot. It went right next to it. I was lucky. Damaged the wood floor. But yeah, that's too loose. And what they could have done to fix that was to move the strap where it's mounted down lower, and the snap right there lower, and that would have fixed the problem, but they didn't. So yeah, fire steel loop is good, though I never used it. The belt loop is alright. It stretches out a little bit and gets kind of floppy, but you know, that's okay. The sheath rides a little too high for my liking, because you really got to reach up when you're pulling it out like this, compared to this one. I'll show you real quick right here where the belt loop goes. You see how much lower the Bark River sits? Even though the sheaths are about the same height, the handle sticks up so high on this one compared to this one, and then the difference there. So yeah, but basically that's all the bad stuff with the sheath. Let's go into the bad stuff with the knife. Now I'll be straight up and honest, the handle is too square. I mean, I held it in the store and I thought I liked it and blah blah blah, but once you get to using this, you realize that these corners up here, these are bad. I mean, they dig in hard right on this bone where your tendons come across for your thumb. And as you're carving with this, if you really grip down on it, if you grip like this, then you're not gonna have an issue. But if you grip it all with your thumb against the side of the knife, or you try to carve with it, it's digging a lot of pressure right into your corner there, and it bruises up real bad. Also, this area right here on both sides, way too square. It needed to be smoothly rounded, like right here. So these square spots here and these square spots here really just killed the handle ergos for me, and that made it difficult. If your hands are bigger than mine are large, so if you have bigger hands, it might start feeling better, but then you're getting pretty cramped as far as handle. This isn't too cramped. This is as far as I can choke up on it, so I got a little bit of room here. But you get extra large hands on there, and while it may feel more comfortable, then you run out of space. So you know, bad handle, honestly. The blade, you got your sharpening choil here, and you can see, based upon the curvature there, that it ends right there. So yeah, your sharpening choil comes down to that point. You have this extra edge sticking out beyond the sharpening choil, which defeats the purpose of it, honestly. And now it's going to develop a recurve. It's already got beard going. The stone rides up on the side of the choil, or on the side of the plunge grind there, and it's going to get a little recurve right in this area. So that's a big flaw. In the satin finish, there's a screw up right up in here. It's kind of hard to show off on the camera, especially if my light's blinding. You see how wavy it is right there? I don't know if you can, but it's very wavy compared to back here where it's very fine. Now the problem with this satin finish is it's kind of deep. You hear that? So all those little hills and valleys in there, they catch tree sap and other crap in them really badly. And that just kind of fills up with junk, and it's hard to clean out, and it's very annoying. The other problem, actually, it's just the way the knife was designed. Watch my video right here on this stuff. That was the last video I posted, just on different grinds and stuff and why. But this thing has the fat edge problem going on. So after a bunch of sharpenings, it's got the fat edge when it used to have a nice new edge there. And yeah, it's just kind of a thing about the knife. Besides that, there's nothing bad with this thing. S30V has been holding up great. So we're going on to the positives now, of course. The S30V is holding up pretty good, or actually pretty great. Once I got the burnt edge off, the burnt edge is the factory edge that's been ground on, say, a belt grinder, and it's really, it gets too hot, honestly. The very surface of it, the very apex gets too hot and destabilized by the impact of all the sanding grains, you know, on the belt sander. So you want to get that factory edge off, and once you do get that factory edge off, get down to that good meat of the steel there, and this is holding an edge very well. Now, I don't have any paper around to cut, but it can cut this kind of paper easily right now as it is, but I don't want to cut this up because I'm saving that. But yeah, it's holding an edge good, and once you get your own edge on there, the chipping problem goes away. So this had a lot of problems with microchips. You'd be able to hear it as you ran your finger across it. And this one doesn't have hardly any microchips in it anymore, because I sharpened them all out, and it's been holding an edge good through a lot of usage. I mean, a lot. This thing is a great batoner, though the handle's square edges, once again, give a lot of shock to your hand while you're batoning. It does a good job batoning. It's got a very durable tip. Look at how thick that is. So, yeah, nice thick tip. And sorry guys, my camera won't focus. The rear-facing camera will not focus on the blade once really close. But yeah, obviously a thick tip. So this really lends itself well to batoning. Honestly, it's a great knife for that. It's got a sharp spine on there. I just made a little shaving with my nail there just to show you it is sharp. I'm not faking it. But it didn't come very sharp, even though it was supposed to. They kind of screwed up on that, so I had to sharpen that myself. Very durable handle. I mean, these scales aren't budging an inch. Feels the same all the way across this. Not even budging like a millimeter. Not an inch. They would not budge an inch. But it's because these flared titanium tubes, they just keep this thing together very well. You got plenty big lanyard hole. It's actually kind of small, but it's plenty big. That'll fit paracord just fine. But yeah, very durable materials, very durable handle. What really let this thing down was just the ergonomics. But again, it's a very attractive looking knife, obviously. It's got this nice continuous curve. It's got nice, sweeping angles here and coming in the handle, and this little divot right here, if you're gonna pinch grip it like this, is very nice. And also, if you're really choking up, it gives a place for your thumb to ride in there, just like that. I'm trying to show it. There it is. And that's nice. But besides being a very durable, very strong, very reliable knife, it's not much more than that. I would not consider this a bushcraft knife. Also, the original sheath it came with, because that satin finish picks up so much crap, it gets stuck to the blade. As you went in and out of the Kydex sheath, it's so tight on the blade that any bit of dirt would scratch the satin finish. And the satin finish is a bunch of vertical lines, right? And you're putting horizontal lines across it, and it looked really bad. So that's why they sent me this. I told them, I complained about it, so they sent me this thing instead. But as far as the knife goes, materials and the quality of them and the fit and finish of those materials was great, but the design itself is where they failed. Alright, so the choil was bad, the squared edges all over the handle, bad, and that's basically all they really did that was so bad on this knife. Just can't get over that. And you'll never get over it if you hold one of these. I mean, look at that. That is how it should look. Rounded in there. See that? See that roundness going on? Beautiful. That's a comfortable handle to use right there for a long time. Look at that. Palm swell is good. Anyway, though, and the good thing about the sheath, I like it the way the leather was weathering on here. I love the Benchmade logo right there. It looks pretty attractive, honestly. As I said, the ferro rod loop is pretty darn good, even though I never really use it. The stitching is held together very well over the last year. I mean, very well. It's not even hinting at that it's going to unravel. Just the overall appearance of this knife is very, very nice. I mean, look at that. That is a pretty looking knife. I mean, even if it is tan, G10. And also, the dangler was something I just made to put on there. I just used a little pin right there. It could swing. I cut slits in the leather so I can take it off like that and then put it back on, and it'll hold itself all together and everything. And it can pivot a lot, which is great because when you're at a place, what you can do is it'll be hanging on your belt, and rather than hanging it out at a restaurant or something, what you can do is you can scoot it around and drop it over your leg when you're sitting at the table or whatever, and you don't have to worry about somebody reaching behind you and snag or stealing it from you. So that's nice. I like the dangler a lot. But yeah, that's just a quick overview, and this is my 1 year review of the knife. As far as performance goes, I'll tell you what, carving with this thing just isn't very good. Where this excels is utility tasks, where you need a tough, durable knife, like batoning, splitting the wood. And it does pretty okay with fire making, because all you really do is baton, carve a little feather stick and light it. But when you really get into the carving and stuff, and any bushcraft tasks, the ergonomics let it down, especially compared to this. And the performance of the convex blade over this one, it's just a world of difference. But you know what? I would not recommend this knife. If I'm being real honest, I would not recommend it. You know why? Heed my warning. Don't buy it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you found this 1 year review insightful, and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless.